From Boutwell's Bowlamore, welcome to Yankee Championship Bowling. Championship Bowling is brought to you by Shaw's, your everyday lower price leader, and by the fine Grapponi car and truck dealers in Concord, New Hampshire.
Hello once again, everybody, and welcome to Boutwell's Bowlamore in Concord, New Hampshire for Yankee Championship Bowling. I'm Jim Rivers, and joining me again this week number 11, Rich Smigliani of Concord. And it's the Battle of the State of Maine tonight, Rich.
Right, we got two bowlers from Maine, Al Joy and Don Saucier. Al Joy come up with a 406 in his first match, and Don Saucier got here a little different route with a 346.
Well, Allyn comes from Westbrook, Maine, as the number 10 seed, and you're right, he beat number 7 Rick Farwell 406 to 336. And Al does his bowling in Pride's Corner, and he is occupied as a fire extinguisher recharger, as we learned when he was with us the first time around. Married with a couple of youngsters, and he represents the town of Westbrook from the state of Maine. The opposition tonight, Don Saucier, who comes in as the number 4 seed. He knocked off 13th seeded Carl Merrill, the retired policeman from Dover, 346 to 307. He represents the town of Saco in Maine. Does his bowling in Portsmouth, New Hampshire at the Bowlerama, and also at the Vacation Land Lanes in Saco, and he operates a video store. So it's Westbrook against Saco. This is the third match of the second round. Now the winner here will take on the winner of the Gary Duffett-Mike Poulin matchup in the semifinals. So that's it for tonight's matchup. Don't forget our mailing address for our Shaw's Lucky Cash segment, which we start off with $50 in the till this week. It is Yankee Championship Bowling, 8 Commercial Street in Concord. Get those cards in, and during our Lucky Cash segment, if our bowling can match the pinfall with the wheel, then you take home the jackpot. We'll have our first string between Joy and Saucier coming right up. Allyn Joy to start things off here on our first string. And as you might remember, Rich, Allyn had kind of a shaky start in his match with Rick Farwell.
Yeah, Allyn started off with a 101, I believe, in that match, and came back with 2 scores in the 150s to finish up.
155 and 150.
He really got in the groove during the second and third games.
Of course, Don Saucier was with us back early on, I think the 4th or 5th week. And
Don Saucier had a little rough going. I think he got a double strike in the third game to put it away over Earl Merrill.
Yeah, he started off shakily. He had a 99 and a 120, and then finished off with a 127. So if you go by their first appearances on the program this series, they have been slow starters.
Right.
But Al starts off with a 9.
Well, a little bit full on that. Leaves a split 6-10 and a 2-pin.
A lot of wood down there, though.
Tough lead, but try to settle for a 10 here.
We'd like to also take a moment to welcome back to our family here, Dot Pock, who is back scoring for you at home. Nice out for a 10. 19 for the first 2 for Allyn Joy. Now the pride and joy of Saco, Maine here. Both, by the way, both bowlers carrying a 125 average.
Right. Both have bowled against each other many times before up in Maine and tournaments up in that area and in leagues. So they know each other real well. Don starts right off with a chop right up the middle. Don's a deliberate bowler, takes his time.
Don is averaging 103 during this series, and Allyn is averaging 135 this series.
I asked both bowlers if they traveled down together from Maine this week, but they each came in separate vehicles.
Westbrook, I'm not sure how close it is to Saco. Maine's a pretty big state. I mean, that'd be like...
Westbrook's really part of Portland, I guess. Sort of like a suburb of Portland. Saco's a little bit south of there.
That would be like you commuting with someone from Berlin to go down to a tournament in Boston, you know? Just because you're from New Hampshire doesn't mean you live next door.
That's right. Don made a nice shot on that last ball, and he leaves it the 7-pin.
7-pin for a right-handed bowler, and he snuck it right by to the left.
Well, a little slow start here, 19 to 16. little feeling out process. We have Bob Prevey, by the way, that's scorekeeping for the spectators here. Bob is one of the finer retired citizen bowlers in the local area.
Yeah, I don't think Bob was with us during the summer, though. I don't think he made it on.
In fact, Bob, a couple of months ago, beat me in the league rather soundly, and I hate to admit it, but some people don't let me. Allyn has a good leaf here, 6'10", with the wood right flat across. There's our first mark.
Allyn is averaging in this series about 5 marks a string. Rich, what does that tell you?
Well, it shows he's on the head pin. He gets good pin action. There's a full hit there, but you see the action he gets. He comes up with an 8 and has a legitimate. Has a 210 leave. But in that first match he bowled, and he started with a 101. I believe he only had 1 or 2 marks, and then the next 2 games he must have averaged 7 or 8 marks a game. Nice shot.
Nice shot, but can't quite collect that 10 over there. Don Saucier right on the head pin, a little bit to the Brooklyn side.
There's a good ball and an excellent leave.
Yeah, good drop.
5-8-9 with a wood. Should cover the 3 pins, but I've seen stranger things happen.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what that wood does. He used it to his advantage. First mark for Don Saucier.
We have a pin loose on alley 21. Steve Birch will go down and retrieve it. Steve likes to get on camera occasionally.
Don had only 8 marks in his win over Merrill, so that's averaging just a couple of a string.
He had his troubles. He got a double strike. It really was a tight match. He threw a double strike in the 3rd game. It opened the match up for him.
But you know, if you can come out with a win with a 346, you've got it behind you, Rich.
There's
nice
a big
ball.
There's
Nice
a big
ball.
strike there.
Big one.
Let's see if we have that on replay. That was a good hit.
Because sooner or later, when you're bowling out here against the best bowlers from the area, you're going to have that one bad match, and if you can win it, it's behind you.
That's right. Here's a replay on Don. Solid 1-3 hit and kicks out the 4 pin.
Little body language to help out. Back live, and Allyn with a 6 drop on his first ball.
Outside, just missed it.
A stubborn 10 pin.
That's true what you say, Jim. If you can win a match with a low total, you figure you have it all coming to you, and I think it's a big advantage. Of course, you don't try to win with a low total, but if it does happen, it's a plus for you, I believe, in the long run. Law of averages. There's a full hit by Allyn. Took out just the 1, 5, and the 9. Allyn will try to come out of this one 8 or a 9 if he can.
You know, next week you talk about the battle of the state of Maine. Next week we have the battle of the town of Hudson, New Hampshire, with Gary Duffett and Mike Poulin set to join us.
That should be a great match.
Then we move into the semifinals, and our first match in the semis will be Glenn Shattuck, the number 16 seed, who is still alive, and 3rd-seeded David Jaber, who is another maniac.
Right, that again should be another good match. Glenn's been very hot in the 2 shows. There's a break by Don. Excellent break. Missed the head pin, got an 8-pin drop. Has the 1, 2, and he's working on a strike.
You know, if you watch any of the bowling, if you saw Danny Murphy in his loss a month or so ago down at Sammy White's, it's amazing the way those pins move around.
Those pins are really flying down there. Of course, it's been very good bowlers, but conditions of different lanes differ. And but Murphy was hit 400 6 weeks in a row. It didn't matter what the conditions were. No one could come close to him.
Well, Don Saucier is back in the lead, 65-57. Through through 5, halfway through this first string.
Once again on the left lane, we have a 159 taken out. Al Joy worked this leave out for a 7. Let's see if Don can do better. There's a nice shot. Excellent 10.
And that leaves us with a 75-64 score through 6.
Don's jumped up to 11-pin lead, as difference being that strike he threw on the spare. Allyn starting off slow again this week.
Allyn with a high single of 211 and a high 10 of 1431. And he has a 125 average, but he's averaging 135 in this series.
Well, just went by that to the left.
Yeah, just a little bit off that object pin down there.
And a 10.
Al's only left 4 pins standing in the string, but he's had 3 10s, 4 10s.
And that just had the one bad box, that 7 box. There's a good ball. That could have just easily been a strike. 4-7. Perfect.
Perfect, and it couldn't have come at a more opportune time for it. Allyn Joy, just as the string was starting to slip away a little bit. And there you can see it for you at home. Square kept again by Don Pock.
Oh.
Pretty ball for Don Saucier.
That was a power ball. 1-2 pocket, and they just blew right out of there. Here's a replay of that strike. And look at him blow right. A 5-pin just dies right out of there. Live action, he has a good spare leave. It's a 2-4-7.
And fills the strike with a 9. I think he would have liked to have backed it up with another mark.
Yeah. Look, he dropped it just a little bit. Well, Don leads by 19 pins, and less what Allyn gets on this ball right here.
Needs a big fill right here.
Good light hit. Didn't get much of a break on that ball. Got a 6 on the spare. Kind of a tough leave. That pin in the back, the 8-pin, make this shot difficult. And there you go. There's the 8-pin. Sleeper in the back.
Well, Allyn Joy has broken the century mark with 100. You could use a mark right here. 4 horsemen. Nope. Cleans out one of them.
There's the 1-4-7. It's going to have to go on the inside or the outside of that head pin. There's a wood laying there. See if it helps.
To the outside, and it helps.
And the wood helped and gave him the spare. There's a case where the wood helped them. In this case, sometimes the wood can be just the opposite effect.
All right, on the fill here. Goes right for the head pin and fills it with a 7.
Well, he come out of it not too bad.
Yeah, he did. He
117.
did, Rich. He was looking at a 57 halfway through and managed to salvage a 117.
Don will have a lead. It depends on what he gets in these 2 boxes. There's a good light hit. He wants one of them to go out, and 7 goes down. There's a 10-pin with a tricky wood out front. I believe he's going to have to play that wood to the left and kick it back into the 10-pin. Let's see. Played it to the left and carried it.
Have to hit that wood on the laying down flat just right, or it'll snap back and you'll end up with nothing. Saucier looking to fill here a 9.
Both bowlers been on a head pin real well so far. There's a good hit right there. He's looking for his 3rd strike and just missed it. Now he has wood on the 4-pin, still rolling. probably want to stay to the left, but well, that wouldn't have left. Let's see.
Yeah, he's
Right
going
in the-
dead center.
oh, dead center, right at it. Oh, he's coming out. He's got a 132 and a ball. Don's had a very good string. He's got strikes and all 9-pin drops and all his marks. He's filled them all in real well.
Yeah, he's only left 2 pins standing the entire string.
A little bit off on that ball, but
And he'll finish with a 136. So it's a 19 pin spread here after string number 1. Allyn Joy and Don Saucier, both from the state of Maine, and there it is for you at home. And we're glad to have Dot back with us. It's nice to be kept up with what's going on
that's for sure.
back at home. We have a Shaw's Lucky Cash coming up, and that's always kind of fun for you at home, too. And it's quite simple. Get those cards in to Yankee Championship Bowling, 8 Commercial Street in Concord. They all go into that big bin over there. We'll take a bowler over there, and they'll draw out a card, and then throw 1 ball on lane 21. Come back and try and match the pinfall. We've had a couple of jackpot winners so far. So we'll be back with Shaw's Lucky Cash segment, and then stick with us for our second and third string in tonight's match between Don Saucier and Allyn Joy from the state of Maine, right after these words. Don Saucier to start things off here in our second string. Rich, Bo Drew, takes us for $6. I wonder if this supplements his Social Security or something. Bo and Tiny.
Well, we're up to $59. We haven't had a winner for a
Bo
while.
and Tiny are 2 of our faithful viewers.
Well, Don starts off with a good lead here, the 128. And he got robbed. The 8-pin never moved.
He had 5 marks in that first string. 2 of them strikes, 3 spares, filled them all with 9s and 10s except for that last one.
Yep. Very good fill. For 5 marks, that's a heck of a string, 136. This is a main shootout today.
Yeah, the shootout of Hudson next week. Poulin and Duffett.
There's another big ball, another 9-pin
Yeah,
drop.
another power ball. That 1 pin wouldn't go.
6-pin all by itself.
Not anymore.
Dead center. Put the pressure right on Allyn. Don had a 19-pin lead and starts off with a 10 and a spare. But this is where Allyn picked up in his match of last month. He started with a 153 in the second game and 150 right back in the third.
Yeah, any of these bowlers that are in this field of 16 can come out and throw those big numbers at you. There aren't too many leads that are safe here.
Tough leave here for Allyn. Well, he matches a 10 of Don.
Pin lead is certainly
There's
not
the ball.
insurmountable when he starts throwing balls like that.
There's that cruncher of Allyn Joy, and he can throw them. He's a strike bowler. Throws a lot of strikes. That's his first one of this match. Let's see that again. On replay, you see it? Right into the 1-2 pocket and just crunches him right down.
Back live with Saucier on his spare fill.
Another head pin hit. He wants that pin to go. He'll shoot the 3. Has a frozen wood on that 4 pins. So if he catches any part of that wood, he'll carry it.
He'll decide to go to the right side. This would be a good 10 if he could get it.
Yeah, he'd be satisfied with a 9 right now with this lead.
He got it.
That's what he got. He'll take that. Head pin again. There's a sour leave. 4, 5, 7, and 10 with a wood on the 4 and 7.
Goes for the wood.
Nice try. About all he could do was try to snap that over somehow.
You ever get that leave where you just look at it for 15 minutes and decide, oh well, and just throw the ball and hope something happens?
Sometimes you're better off just letting it go. Well, Don left an opening a little bit here for Allyn. He come up with a 9 and an 8 in these two boxes, and Allyn's working on a strike. So
We got a match.
if he gets a mark on this strike, or this could be real tight. There's that ball.
Well, he's got that power
Double
ball
strike.
working. Back to back.
There's what I was talking about, that cruncher that Allyn throws.
Probably as a bowler, Rich, when you get that working, you hate to sit down and watch the other guy go. You want to just keep throwing.
That's right. Once you're hot, you like to stay on that groove. Here's a big ball here, working on a double strike. And that just as easily could have been a triple. Solid 5-pin, and that was as good a ball as the other two strikes were. Gives him a fat 39 for the first two boxes. Ooh, that could be costly. Missed it to the right. He may have rushed that shot a little bit.
Here's the replay of the strike.
Gotta watch that strike again, Rich.
Once again, he carries over, crosses over into the 1-3 pocket, and the 6-pin wiggles and goes over.
68-43, so he's back now leading by 6. He trailed by 19, and he made them up, Rich. And is the 10 going to go here?
And Don right back in the pocket, and he gets another 9-pin drop. 10-pin with a wood to the side.
This is a good spare lead for him, although he's a right-handed bowler. Shooting that 10-pin can be tricky sometimes.
Oh, just enough. Just caught it enough. Caught the wood, and it just wiggled that 10 over. This is a good match.
Two good bowlers going head-to-head here on Yankee Championship Bowling. We've had a lot of good matches over the years. I remember one, Spigliani and Murphy. Not a bad match.
That was a long time ago.
I'm going to dig that tape out one of these days. Maybe we can, when we have some time to fill at the end, we'll show it.
Here's Don with another 9-pin drop on a spare. And he has a solid wood on front. He's going to either try to hit that wood on the right-hand side or get by it and catch the wood in the back. He's going to take a fine shot here. He placed it to the left.
Nope. I don't think that counts, does it? That went into the,
No.
yeah, that went into the
No.
gutter.
No, it went into the gutter. Just caught the gutter, and that's a 9 box. It could be very costly. We'll call it a 9. Now, Don called that himself. There's no official scorekeeper here on that shot, so it was up to the bowler to call that shot himself. And Don said it caught the wood in the gutter.
I think a replay would show that anyways.
Yeah.
It did.
I was surprised Don played it to the left. I thought he'd go to the right. Oh, Allyn just made a super shot, but the 7-pin ball went in front of it and the wood went behind it. Both these bowlers are zeroed in now. Both missed single pins. I guess Allyn, I got Allyn with a 6-pin lead through completed boxes. Boy, it is an unusual leave. Took out the 1, the 2, and the 8. Oh, a great shot.
A lot of wood to worry about down there.
It's a 10. As you can see, Allyn Joy 87 through 6 to Don's 71, a 16-pin lead.
Yeah, 3-pin lead for Saucier
Saucier has
overall.
a 3-pin lead in the match.
Chops it through.
I had Joy ahead by 6. I had it the other way around. Saucier leads by 3. Both bowlers have missed singles, and since they missed those singles, they're off just a little bit. Let's see if that affects them.
Saucier is 14 pins off the pace of his first string. He had a 94 through 7. He has an 80 through 7 here. Right on the head pin. Looked good, too.
Wants one of those to go, and a
Tough leave.
410, and that wood doesn't look like it's that good from here. Let's see what happens. Nope.
You'd like to get at least one of those.
good 10. Don with a 90 through 8. Allyn gets a mark in these next 2 boxes. He'll take the lead. It's that kind of a match.
A little bit off the head pin.
Came up with a nice leave. The one.
He has struggled a little bit, as you say, since that double strike. He's had a 10, a 9, and a 10.
Oh, hit that little full. Left up the 3 pin. Well, since both bowlers missed their single pins, they've been off just a little bit, but of course they got a couple of chop leaves in there too.
In any case, unless one of these 2 bowlers strike out here, Rich, we're going to have a close one going into the 3rd string.
Should be very close.
Allyn is really struggling.
He's off a little bit. 4 horsemen. He'll want to come out of this with a 9 or a 10. Nice 10.
Not bad. Nice 10.
Well, it's a 2-pin lead for Don Saucier in the match.
Yep. 107 to 90 here. Just a little bit off that head pin. Gets a drop of 6.
Wood's rolling in. You'll want to go pretty flush in that head pin. He does, and it's a tough break. Leaves up the 6 pin.
$100 for Don Saucier through 9. Remember, he had a 136 in number 1.
Don won a mark right here. Big box for him. He didn't want that. Off Worcester. See if he comes out of this with a 9. Well, Don tailed off the last 5 boxes. No marks.
$243 for Saucier through 2.
Both bowlers have not marked in their last 5 boxes, so see what happens here. There's a good leave. Big spot right here. And he goes by it.
Boy, that sums up the whole string for both bowlers here, Rich. They were hot through the first 3 boxes, but they had really tailed off.
It came at a time when each of them missed their single pins for spares. They both seem to go cold. I don't know if it's a coincidence or maybe they're just thinking about that box. They cooled off right at that time. And Allyn's got some funny leaves on that left-hand lane on the head pin. There's another one where he took out the 158.
Or 124, so that's going to give him a 241. So Saucier maintains his lead. Allyn came and took the lead with those that back-to-back strike, but Saucier came up with that mark in box number 5, and that allowed him to get back into the lead, and then nothing but opens for both of them through the last 5 boxes.
Allyn got 7 straight boxes with opens, and Don had 5. And right at the time, they both missed their single pins for spares.
Will that unnerve you as a bowler? You miss that single pin?
Sometimes it can, but sometimes it's just a coincidence, but sometimes it can have a big effect on you.
243 to 241. Saucier hanging on to a 2-pin lead as we continue our battle for the state of Maine. Let's throw that address up to you. 8 Commercial Street in Concord for our Shaw's Lucky Cash. Send those postcards in to Yankee Championship Bowling, 8 Commercial Street in Concord. And there's your zip code too, 03301. What do we got, $59 to give away?
$59.
$59 in Shaw's Lucky Cash, and we'll do it right after this. All right, we're back. Jim Rivers, along with the former champion of Yankee Championship Bowling, Rich Smigliani, who won it a long time ago, back when
Long time ago. Seems.
battleships had sails, wasn't it?
That wasn't that long ago, but we have a real great match here.
We do, and you know, I think the key thing is here, Rich, is the guy that gets to go last, Saucier, and that is where the advantage of being the higher seed comes in a real tight match.
Yeah, it should be an advantage. A lot of balls they had their pick would rather go last.
How about you?
I think I would too. Oh, there's a nice shot by Allyn. Depends. Sometimes you can put a lot of pressure on yourself. You have to get up there and need a mark. But most balls would rather go last. Allyn just made a super shot to start off this third game. And that left-hand alley, which is alley 20 up here at Boutwell's, is leaving up some splits. That's a big one. Needless to say, this is a match where every pin counts. 9s and 10s are important if you can't get a mark. Let's see if Don can get back in that head pin. Missed the head pin and has a good leave. Try to go into that pocket. The head pin.
Don has a high single of 193, high 10 of 1396, and a 125 average, as we mentioned early.
Those are big numbers.
Owner of a video store, which means he gets free movies every weekend.
That's right. Well, Allyn Joy is with that spare with a 6. He now leads by 4 pins. And Don comes back. Oh. There's a 6-pin shaken. He has good wood if he stays off the cap of it. And he gets it. Came close to the gutter again, but that was good. Let's watch that replay. Solid hit. Watch the 6-pin shake.
All right, Allyn Joy now with a 4-pin lead after 1. I think this is going to seesaw back and forth all the way down the stretch.
I think so. Oh, another great shot by Allyn on that right-hand lane. Big spare. Off the head pin a little bit. Another tough spare leave. That wood's rolling over. Takes out the 7. And here it comes back. Oh! 4-pin just shaking.
That would have been some kind of shot.
Well, there's a big ball for Don.
Big fill right here. He knows it.
Taking a little extra time right here.
Off the head pin, chops it through.
Chops it through. Bounce the ball. Chops again in the second ball. Rough box for Don, opposite a spare 5 for Allyn Joy.
Gets a little pin reaction of his own there, but
gets a break, comes out of that with a 9.
trailing by 7 overall now through 3 boxes.
Allyn Joy has a 10 in the 4th box, so if Don can get a mark here, we'll be back about even again.
Got a piece of the head pin. What a leave.
The 2, the 7, and the 10. All the wood's back on the 10 pin.
Gaps it.
Missed in the hole. Let's see if he goes for the wood and tries to get a 9 at the woodwork farm. He is. And he gets his 9.
Now trails by 8 pins through 4. Still anybody's match. Don't forget, next week, Gary Duffett and Mike Poulin. It should be another whale of a match.
Should be a super match, and both bowlers have fine totals in their first round match.
Yeah, Gary Duffett turned in a 382. Here's Allyn's first ball. And Poulin a 407.
Right. Here's Allyn with not a bad leave.
And put on some pressure right there.
Carried it. Here's a big ball coming up right here.
Replay.
Here's that spare shot of Allyn. Into the 1-3 pocket. Carries it. Right. Live action is a sour leave. 8 on the spare. He'll take the 8 fill, but he has up to 8-10 with a wood. It may help him. It's the only chance to hit that wood.
Here, take a look at that shot again. All right, Saucier now to 4, 2 more opens.
A light hit, and he has a difficult leave here. We have some wood over towards the 10 pin. And Don's at a point he needs marks, Jim. He went into a cold streak beginning in the 5th box of the 2nd string. He's been struggling ever since.
Well, he now trails by 16 pins, so he's gone from 2 pins up to 16 down.
And with only 5 boxes remaining, he needs a mark right here. Just by the head pin again.
He's having problems finding that head pin right now. 4 horsemen plus the 9.
Yeah. 4 horsemen is tough enough as it is, and the 9 pin in there.
And the 9 pin is the thing that killed him.
And there's the 9 pin. Always the way, it seems. 15 pins, I
He
get.
picked up a pin. Shows you how important a mark would have been right there. There it is right there for you at home.
Al Joy leads by 15 pins with 4 boxes remaining.
Plus on the fill that Don had, he filled it with a 2, which hurt.
That hurt. And Allyn goes by the head pin here.
I wonder how many times these two bowlers have met each other. There's a break for Saucier.
Yeah, that was a good shot. 7 pin. Wood went right around the 7. Important pin right here. Every pin's important. Well, if Al opens in this box here, Don will be right back in it. By the head pin again. Gets a good break. Wood looks good. Misses. Oh, let's see. Almost stole it.
.97 for Allyn Joy through 8 now. And again, he leaves that door wide open for Don Saucier.
Don has openings right here. He wants to get at least 1 mark. Preferably 2. There's a break here.
Yeah, there's a break. That ball didn't go where he
Oh,
wanted
what a
it to,
break.
but look at the leave he got out of it.
What a break. 9 pin with all kinds of good wood.
If he doesn't pick this up, he is in trouble.
Don trails by 15 pins, minus what he has in his ball. They want a good hit and another good leave. Once again off the head pin.
He's now down by 9.
Good shot.
Oh, that 7 pin
Robbery.
wouldn't budge.
You can see the expression on Don's face on that shot.
Now he needs this or he'll lose a pin in this box. Down by 13 with 2 boxes to go. watch that again.
Let's watch that again. Watch that 7-pin. Wood kicks around it and rolls and does not topple the 7-pin.
Look at the expression on poor Don's face. Oh, there's a big ball. There it goes. Number 7, the last to go. And that's a mammoth strike at this point in the match.
Important striker, just a power ball.
Allyn Joy reached down deep for that one.
Allyn can get a mark here and practically close Don out if he gets this spare here. Unless Don throws a double strike. It's a big ball right here. .126.
126 for Joy. That gives him a 367. So 125 is what Allyn Joy needs to win it, right?
Don Saucier, yeah, he needs a 125. He needs 2 big marks. He can do it without a double strike. He can get a spare strike spare and win this match. That would give him 40 pins and give him a 126. So he needs this right here, regardless. Clutch shot.
Boy, big shot.
Big shot right there.
Now he needs a good fill and a good leave.
He preferably needs a strike or a 9-pin drop. He's going to have to get 20 in one of these 2 boxes. A little bit off the head, good mix in action, a little bit light.
He needs this. He's got to have this.
There's that last spare
right
shot.
here.
There's that shot prior to this box. Don needs this.
Yep, he does. And
Oh,
he's
tough
going to
break.
get it. That's going to be the match
Awful
right
break.
there.
He would have needed that with a strike on it to tie the match.
That leaves him with a 357, so it turned out to be a 10-pin difference.
10-pin
Rich
difference.
Migliani, and came right down as those last 2 boxes, which is what we kind of thought would happen, although Allyn Joy managed to open up a little bit of ground early there in that third.
That was a real exciting match, and if Don got that spare in the last box, he would needed a strike on it, which would have been difficult, but 367 to 357, just a super match.
It'll be interesting to hear what the 2 bowlers have to say about tonight's match, and I know you want to have a few words with them, and we'll do that and wrap up tonight's program right after this. Joy, with our 2 bowlers, let's get down to Rich Migliani. Rich?
Great match, and I'll talk to Don first. Don, you lost by 10 pins. You made a great shot in that last box to get caught by the wood.
Yeah, I still would have needed a strike on it, but I wish it would have went just to see what I could do on that last ball.
Let's go back to that shot in the, I think, 4th or 5th box of the 2nd string, whereby you caught that wood just in the gutter. And that's a difference of 10 pins right there, and would have been a tie match probably.
I really don't want to see that shot again.
It was very close, but the replay showed it did go in the gutter. We were concerned with how close it was, but we have a check here for you, Don, and your fellow here from Maine. It's not bad when you have to lose to a fellow Maine bowler, I guess.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Good luck,
Allyn, you weren't as hot as you were in the first match, but 367. Big strike in the 10th in the 9th box.
I knew I had to get 2 marks, if not 1, but I got 1 with a good fill. But he hit 2 shots out of the last 3 boxes, and he got robbed. He had the long tail before that.
Well, you're going to be bowling in 3 weeks from now. You'll be bowling the winner of Mike Poulin and Gary Duffett. So bring your best bowling with you.
Yeah.
And we'll return it back to Jim Rivers here for our wrap-up.
All right, thank you, Rich, and congratulations to Allyn Joy, winner over Don Saucier here tonight by 10 pins, 367 to 357. Another good match. Don't forget to get those cards in next week. 2 bowlers from Hudson, New Hampshire will be joining us, and 2 very good bowlers from Hudson, New Hampshire. Gary Duffett, who has been with us for many, many, many times, and Mike Poulin, who was with us a few years ago, and Mike says he's been trying to get back on the show for a couple of years now and finally did. Should be a great match. We hope you join us. And then we go to the semifinals. Glenn Shattuck against David Jaber, who is the highest seed remaining in the number 3 spot. So that's the matchups for the next couple of weeks. We hope that you can join us here at Yankee Championship Bowling. For my partner, Rich Migliani, and the entire gang here at Boutwells and Concord, this is Jim Rivers. So long from Boutwells and Concord. See you next week on Yankee Championship Bowling.